Hi, Shelby Joe Long here, CEO of Business Dynamics and Senior Vice President of the Strategic Advisor Board. Here to give you a few communication tips to help improve your business and get you through the week. So the tip that I want to talk about this week, I read this great article in the Harvard Business Review this week, which was all about storytelling and how important it is, how important narrative and storytelling is for our businesses. We don't think about that as business owners. As a CEO, we're often stuck in the numbers, we're stuck in the data. We want to make sure that we have the accurate descriptions and we have the accurate numbers and the accurate representations of things. And we don't think about how important it is for our employees and the rest of our business, and even for our clients and our potential customers that are coming in, to how we can use that data to create a story. We are natural storytellers. We love to hear stories, and we resonate with stories because stories create an emotional connection with our audience. When we just focus our whole presentation around data and numbers, we often lose our audience. So really, as a CEO and as a business owner, it's important to think about telling the story of your strategy and telling the story of the customer client experience, using a narrative to show your audience what is the actual result of your ideas. That's really where what we can start to think of as how to best utilize those tools in our business. And honestly, that's going to best resonate with your audience, which is fundamentally what we want to, how we are much more effective of a leader, is resonating with our audience, being persuasive, being effective, making sure there's that clarity. That's how we have to think about it. So let's talk about a few different ways that we can use narrative and story. With your employees, and you think about with your training modules, or thinking about introducing a new strategy, or thinking about introducing a new idea with your employees, a good way to think about that is, yes, you have the data and the evidence and the hard numbers to put behind it, but you've got to present it in a way that makes sense to the audience and that helps move your whole group forward under the same vision and under the same value set. And that's where the storytelling becomes really important. The numbers and the data and all of that don't make any sense unless you give it some sort of context. I talk about this in business communication all the time because it's so important. Yes, the numbers are important because they're the proof, but nobody's going to understand. People often will not resonate with just the numbers. They need the story behind that. It's like the economist that looks at trends over years and years. And yes, you can see what trends were made, and you can see what dips and what peaks were made throughout the years of the economic landscape. But we don't understand fundamentally what that means until we have the story or the narrative behind it. Because there's a reason that we have dips. There's a reason that we have peaks. There's a reason that the data represents that. And that's fundamentally something that can really help engage your audience and align your employees under the same vision and under the same type of movement that you want to do within your business. Storytelling with your potential clients is also a really important thing to consider, especially when you're talking about more of a high ticket item, more of a high ticket price, or fundamentally in anything that we're selling, because you want to be able to explain the journey that the client is going to embark upon if they are in business with you. You want the client to really understand what's the beginning, what's the end, what does the journey look like, what can I expect? You're not going to get that by just giving them a piece of paper and telling them these are the things that are going to happen. You've got to tell them the story. What is the onboarding procedure? Ways that you can do that. Talk about this onboarding procedure. What is the client engagement going to look like throughout the process? How are we going to close out the process? All of that storytelling in the beginning is something that really helps add some confidence with the employee or with the clients, and it really helps you develop that trust with the audience. So I encourage you as CEOs, as leaders of your company, to start thinking about your business, yes, in a fundamental empirical way, but communicating that kind of evidence and those kind of numbers to your employees and to your clients is much more effective if you do it in a storytelling and a narrative fashion. here all week to talk about communication strategies of how you can better communicate within your business. Always reach out, shelbyjoelong.com. I'll see you next time.